Hi, I'm Hope. I'm a future art teacher who loves hiking, cats, video games, drawing, baking, cats, spending lots of time outside, art of all kinds, and cats. I'm hoping to be a fun and flexible teacher who encourages kids to make art that reflects who they are, even if they aren't very confident in their artistic ability. To me, every student is an artist. This is my classroom. Well, actually it's my living room, but for the sake of the video, let's pretend it's my classroom. You can imagine some desks or a chalkboard or some art materials laying around if that helps. I'll be talking about a few focus students in my classroom today: sock puppet, balcony door, and plant. Each of these students brings unique assets and perspectives to my living room, classroom, and they each have some unique needs as well. Now, I want to be a teacher who draws on students' funds of knowledge, or all the things they know and ideas they bring to the classroom. To do that, though, I first need to create a classroom space where students feel safe sharing what they know and think. I may think this classroom layout looks great. I love the checkerboard ceiling, I love the wavy orange shelf in the corner, I love that cozy swivel chair, but some students may feel uncomfortable in this setup. Maybe balcony door is feeling crowded by the orange shelf. Maybe plant isn't getting enough sunlight over there. Maybe sock puppet is feeling threatened by the hamper in the room. Whatever the reason, it's important that I as a teacher am open to rearranging my room in a way that makes students comfortable. I can give balcony doors some space, or move plant, or get rid of the hamper. Little adjustments like these will go a long way in making sure that my students feel safe and supported. Another way I can make the classroom a humanizing and affirming place is by making sure my students feel represented. I can display works from artists of my students' cultures or posters about important cultural events that my students may relate to or find interesting. Another way I can make sure students feel comfortable is by utilizing social-emotional learning. The key components of social-emotional learning are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. To encourage self-awareness, I'll check in with students throughout the day and ask them how they're doing. This will encourage reflection and sharing of feelings. It'll also help me get to know them and allow me to start noting those amazing funds of knowledge. During these check-ins, I'll ask students about their progress in the class and try to help them create checklists or work schedules. Eventually, students will learn to do this themselves. Small decisions like these will support self-management and responsible decision-making. I may say, "Hey plant, good things are growing on your piece here, but I'm a little concerned you may not flower by Friday." And plant might be like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna need you to shine a light on what I need to do." Then I'll be like, "Leave your worries behind. I'm rooted in flexibility and support." Or, something like that. I can make work schedules, alter assignments, provide extra materials, and overall be flexible and understanding. With my support, I'm hoping that students will become self-sufficient and responsible with their work. And I want students to feel a strong sense of community in the classroom. I'll encourage them to talk to each other about their ideas, shared interests, and differences. Students will have discussion prompts and small collaborative projects that encourage them to get to know each other. There will be class rules about respect and collaboration, and I will actively foster a kind and supportive environment. All of this will make students more comfortable in my room, leading to sharing and openness. And once we have lots of sharing and openness, that will bring us to funds of knowledge. I'm planning to dedicate a lot of my time in the classroom to talking to students and getting to know them. We'll talk about their classwork and their art pieces, sure, but we'll also talk about their personal lives. What's got you in stitches, sock puppet? Where does your motivation stem from, plant? Why are you feeling closed off today, balcony door? If I need to, I'll keep notes about things my students like, care about, or find interesting. I can also take note of their cultural identities and funds of knowledge. This information will help me build positive and effective relationships with my students and cater the curriculum to best support them. Students can make art inspired by artists or figures from their culture, or illustrate recipes that their families make, or create assemblage pieces of objects that are important to them. The possibilities in art class are endless. They'll be welcome to demonstrate their learning in less traditional ways too, ways that make sense to them. Maybe Sock Puppet wants to put on a puppet show about the life of Jim Henson, or Balcony Door wants to create a gallery about mid-century modern architecture, or Plant may want to write a journal about the works of Georgia O'Keeffe. Students will be welcome to demonstrate their knowledge in many ways, and I'll incorporate literacy into these assessments as well. They can write and illustrate children's books, create videos or presentations about course material, or even host class discussions about what they find interesting. The idea that art has no overlap with literacy and language is false. The two go hand in hand. My goal as a teacher is not to force students to do one thing one way. I want students to express what they learn in a way that feels right to them. This is why funds of knowledge are so important. When it comes to assessment, students will have several opportunities to show what they've learned. Sometimes in our education, we think that the final product is the only thing that gets a grade, but this isn't true. To give students several ways to succeed in my class, I'll perform a lot of small formative assessments. These can include sketches, brainstorming worksheets, discussions, or even individual check-ins with a student. Because I want to incorporate many ways for students to demonstrate learning, assessment will be fluid in the class. While all students will be assessed based on things like craftsmanship, participation, and utilization of materials, grading will likely be altered for each student. They'll need to meet the standards, yes, but how they meet those standards will be flexible. I want each and every one of my students to feel set up for success. And there you have it! Hopefully this video gives you an idea of who I want to be as a teacher and how I want to build my classroom environment. Now if you'll excuse me, I think I have a new student joining my class today.